a soldier, a Green Beret, a man trained to protect his country at all costs. But what happens when a decorated U.S. Army officer turns his back on everything he once stood for? When he betrays his brothers in arms and hands over America's secrets to one of its greatest rivals? This is the story of Peter Debbins, the former Special Forces officer who conspired with Russian intelligence to undermine the United States. A tale of deception, espionage, and a dark web of betrayal that went unnoticed for years. Stay with me, because this is a story you won't believe. Peter Debbins wasn't just another soldier. He was an elite operative. Born into a military family, Debbins grew up with a strong sense of duty. He attended the University of Minnesota, where he studied Russian, a language and culture that would later play a critical role in his downfall. His career was promising. He joined the U.S. Army, became a captain in the Special Forces, and earned the prestigious Green Beret. As part of one of the most highly trained military units in the world, he had access to classified information, sensitive missions, and top-tier intelligence. He was trusted, respected, a patriot. But there was one thing no one knew. Peter Debbins had been working with Russian intelligence for years, and his loyalty was not to the United States. Debbins' ties to Russia went deeper than anyone suspected. His wife was Russian, and during his visits to the country, he made connections that would change his life forever. In 1996, long before he joined the U.S. Army, Russian intelligence operatives saw something in him, something they could use. They approached him, built trust, and slowly pulled him into their orbit. By the late 1990s, Debbins was already sharing sensitive information with them. But it wasn't just about money. Unlike many spies who betray their country for financial gain, Debbins had ideological motivations. He believed in Russia's strength and saw the United States as corrupt and weak. He told his Russian handlers that America needed to be cut down to size. This wasn't just espionage. It was treason. Debbins' career in the military gave him access to invaluable intelligence. He provided Russian operatives with details about his Special Forces unit, classified missions, and even the identities of fellow Green Berets. He wasn't just leaking information. He was actively endangering the lives of American soldiers. He knew that what he was doing could cost lives. He did it anyway, and yet for years no one suspected him. He operated in the shadows, feeding intelligence to a foreign adversary while maintaining the facade of a loyal officer. But the walls were closing in, and soon his double life would come crashing down. For over 2 decades, Debbins evaded detection. Even after leaving active military service, he continued working in defense contracting, maintaining access to sensitive materials. But intelligence agencies never stopped watching. The FBI eventually caught wind of his activities, and what they uncovered was staggering. Years of espionage, decades of betrayal, evidence so overwhelming that Debbins had nowhere to run. In August 2020, he was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit espionage. Unlike some spies who maintain their innocence, Debbins didn't fight. He pleaded guilty, acknowledging that he had knowingly betrayed his country. But even in court, he showed little remorse. In 2021, Peter Debbins was sentenced to more than 15 years in federal prison. A once respected soldier, now condemned as a traitor. His case shook the intelligence community to its core. How had a Russian asset been allowed to serve in the U.S. military for so long? How many others like him were still out there, undiscovered? The Pentagon and FBI were forced to reevaluate their security protocols, tighten background checks, and scrutinize connections to foreign nationals. Debbins had exposed a weakness in America's defenses, one that intelligence agencies vowed to never let happen again. Espionage is not just the stuff of movies. It's real. It happens in the highest levels of government, military, and intelligence agencies. And often, it takes years, sometimes decades, before a traitor is caught. Peter Debbins was one of those traitors, a man who took an oath to protect his nation and then shattered that promise. He thought he could get away with it, but in the end, betrayal has consequences. So, let me leave you with this question. How many more are still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to strike? Think about that. And if you found this story intriguing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. More deep dives into the world of espionage coming soon. Stay sharp, stay vigilant. Until next time.